War. War never changes.
Welcome to War Never Changes, your weekly, and I'm going to put air quotes in there, video game podcast. We are back after a phenomenal week off. My main man, 50 caliber, Phil McCracken, went all the way down to Disney. Me, I've been dealing with some health issues, and I managed to get kicked off ResetEra, which I'll talk a little bit about later. But first and foremost, Phil, sir, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing better. I just got done I got back from the heart doctor. You could see I'm rocking my just took a shower clothes and my just took a shower haircut. Um, I had my echocardiogram. As a joke, the woman checked my stomach and it turns out I am not pregnant. I'm just fat.
Brutal.
Yeesh. Yeah, they put that like gel all over your chest. She's like, try to relax. And I'm like, there's nothing relaxing about this, okay?
This is my heart, lady.
Yeah, so she's like, do you know anything about medicine? And I'm like, no. And she's like, all right, well, do you see a lot of like little lines and wiggling? She goes like, that's your heart, and you're probably seeing a lot of things open and close, and some of that's good, some of that maybe not so much, but we'll figure it out later. And I'm like, you can see my heart like this. So we'll see. Got another month till I get all the results. This is a very methodical process. More tests next week, more tests, and then finally we'll find out what the verdict is. But enough about my heart. My heart is full because I'm back with Phil, and we have so much to catch up on. First and foremost, everybody watching, you have a very special job to do, and that's to subscribe. The button is in the corner. This corner? Wait. Over there. It's been a while. I'm out of practice. Yeah. Down there, click the button, join the fun. We like to have fun here. Phil, I want to start off with you and that beautiful, beautiful forehead of yours. And no, I didn't know what else to talk about. I was gonna say neck, but you can't really see it with that beautiful mane you have. We already talked. What's going on with your computer? I've had a lot of comments from fans feeling bad for you about your iBuyPower drama. Some of them said, hey, they've also had issues. Some of them have said everything worked great, of course. Where are you at on the PC world? Where, obviously, what's going on with iBuyPower and Phil McCracken? What's the latest and greatest? Have you figured this thing out?
So more components to be brief about this. Some key components of my computer broke down. DOA. I contacted iBuyPower about this, and they're like, after sitting on hold for 2 hours, I finally got someone. The guy's like, yeah, well, we can RMA them for you. You can just take the computer apart and send back the parts. One of the parts was the cooling system, which I don't want to mess with because it's liquid inside of a fucking computer.
Seems pretty important that you would want water in your computer to be handled properly. I would agree with that.
Yes. Also, the other component that was malfunctioning was the fucking case. So to send this, I would have had to completely disassemble the computer. So there was
Yeah.
absolutely no point in ordering it from them and having them build it. But I was like, you know what? I've got a buddy that can fix it for me, whatever. Just send me the parts. So like, well, even though you bought the upgraded warranty, we're not going to send you the parts unless you send the old parts back first and we receive them and inspect them and verify that they're not
Jeez.
functioning properly.
Yeah.
So they could just say these are fine and send them back. Or you could pay us up front and no questions asked. We'll send you new ones. You just send the old ones back and we'll refund you your money or blah, blah, blah. So I was like, fine. I did that. 2 days went by, I didn't get an email. 5 days went by, I didn't get an email. I had called twice in that time frame. I think now it's 2 weeks ago, I believe, I started this process, and I still haven't gotten any email from them. I have not gotten them to acknowledge in any way, shape, or form that I paid them the RMA, other than the initial receipt that they sent me
Jeez.
and the credit card charge. And they're not going to ship anything out. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. I Contacted my credit card company. I have I have a great fraud department that works for my credit card company. I explained to them what's going on. They're like, yeah, this is a shady business practice that some people do. They'll wait till the 30 days. They'll wait to get back to you and say they were busy, and then they'll contact you after they know it's been 30 days since you got it, so that your return period has expired, and then they won't help
Playing
you.
the game. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So they're like, we're going to give you a provisional credit and pursue them aggressively. And she's like, it's in our hands. Don't worry about it. And a day later, I had my money back. A
Wow.
day later, I had my money back. Other than the RMA for the parts, other than the RMA fee for the parts, which I have to still dispute and try to get back because it's a couple $100. So that's what's going on. iBuyPower is just a shady company.
Sounds like it. Jeez. So back to the drawing board on the builds now? Is that where we're at?
Yeah. So I looked at a Lian Lee case, and I like that.
Sexy cases.
I need to watch that Jay's 2 cents video about the AMD Ryzen, whatever it is, versus the Rocket Lake hardware.
Look at you using all these fancy terms. This is a totally different Phil. Used to be like, I don't know that computer. Now you're talking Rocket Lake, you're talking Ryzen, you're talking Jay-Z. Look at you.
Yeah. Well,
I'm so proud of you. You've grown so much. Despite the fact you don't have a computer, you're probably the biggest PC gamer of all.
I still have their computer in my possession. However,
yes, you do.
It is no longer mine, so I have to uninstall all my stuff and put it back to factory spec and send it back to them.
Well, I am incredibly sorry. I know you vented last week, and it sucks that iBuyPower is a shit company, and that makes me mad. I mean, I don't have much influence really at all. I barely can influence my wife on, basic things, and I live here, and I pay for all this, well, partially at least. So I don't really have much control over iBuyPower, obviously, but you guys really screwed up, and that sucks because you shouldn't be treating people like that, and you're taking a fun experience for somebody, and you're ruining it. So joke's on you. Obviously, he's getting his money back, and you're going to get your computer back, and this could have been a great transaction for everybody, but instead, now it's not going to be. So that's really, really, really bad. That sucks.
I should have known that something was wrong when I got the text, because they text you every step of the way. It's like their quality.
Yeah, I remember you were texting me. It was like a lot because you gave me the tracking number. Well, that was after the track, but yeah, it was like real time updates. You were telling me like, "Hey, I got an update." We're like, "What is it? What is it?"
Yeah, I should have known better when quality control and burn in, which are 2 separate steps, took all of 36 minutes.
Yes, clearly the quality control is them pressing a button to get their money even faster, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, screw you, iBuyPower. We're not going to do business with you. We don't like you, and we're going to let Phil hopefully find parts elsewhere and enjoy PC gaming.
Yeah. So I have to start compiling the parts. I know you want me to wait till I get a GPU, but I'd rather get the parts and have them ready to go. That way when the GPU comes. But I haven't decided yet, because on the other side of that coin, I'm like, well, if I wait, then I've got time to see if, new stuff comes out. Because literally, like, the week after I got this computer,
that i11
the Rocket Lake hardware came out. And I was like, you motherfucker.
They do that no matter what. So I guess what we're saying is everybody who's about to buy a 3080, wait. As soon as Phil gets his, they'll announce the 3090.
No. The 3080 Ti is coming, and it's supposed to be badass.
The next day. They're like, wait, did Phil get his? All right, okay, bring it out.
Roll that thing out.
Well, that's unfortunate. I wanted to ask you last week, or the last show we did, I know we took a week off, you had made the quote, something to the effect of you regretted buying a PC. I assumed it was under the frustration of what happened with this whole situation. Now that you got at least a little bit of closure, you move on with your life. After playing Valheim and Satisfactory, my question to you is, are you starting to see the fun of PC gaming, or is it still too hard to differentiate PC gaming from all this nonsense with iBuyPower?
I think you may have misunderstood what I said. I said I regretted not listening to you, and I regretted buying a pre-built PC.
Say that again really slow to make sure I get a good audio cut of that. Say Jim was right. Go ahead. Everybody be quiet.
No. I didn't say that. I said I regret buying a pre-built PC. That's what I said.
Oh, I thought I was going to get a really good soundbite.
No, I can't do that for you. Sorry, buddy. I'm gonna, the real fun of PC gaming is clicking TeamSpeak and clicking our server and like having Kevin or Willie or whomever on there, like, just having a friend on the other end of it and be like, hey, what do you want to play? And just diving into a game and doing it. Like, I was so overwhelmed with Satisfactory. I'm just like, I was looking around all of these gigantic buildings and I'm thinking, we were just talking about this game and I was only gone 5 days and there's a city here now.
These guys are into it. Yeah.
And you're like, here, take all this stuff and build this thing. And I'm like, Q menu. I was so overwhelmed. I was starting to get a headache. Seriously.
It's a lot to take in. And,
she said,
the truth is a lot of the games you're playing are, like you were saying, hey, I got into Valheim late. We started our own little base together. And you were like, oh, I got into it late. Everybody's done playing it. But you'll see that as I mentioned before, PC gaming very different, especially with these early access games that you typically don't see on the console side, always releasing new updates. So we hadn't played Satisfactory in probably 7 months, 6-7 months. And then they released an update, and that's all everybody's going to talk about for the next month as we work our way through that content. So you'll see that happen quite a bit, I think, where, games will ebbs and flows will come like that. You saw a ghost. What's wrong? Jesus.
Are you still frozen? What's happening here?
Am I frozen? No. Why? Do I look frozen?
You were for about 20 seconds. Yeah, you were frozen and I couldn't hear anything you said. So whatever Jim said, yes, I agree to that. Yes. Absolutely.
I was saying that early access games come in ebbs and flows. So you're going to, new content will drop. Everybody will jump on it, move on. Valheim isn't new right now because they haven't released anything. When they do, we'll all jump back to that. We'll all jump back to Satisfactory. We'll all jump to, Outriders comes out today. We'll all start playing that. We just kind of jump around, I guess is my point.
Jim, what my experience with Valheim, Jim's like, yeah, we'll start our own thing.
Oh,
we'll do whatever. And we sail all the way around the world to this island. Okay. Somebody gets a little overzealous, hops off the boat in his god armor, gets one-shotted by what I can only describe as a little green gremlin thing. Okay.
I didn't eat any food. I had no HP at all.
Jim would have needed to eat food on that long boat ride, but whatever. So Jim decides to set us up right next to some sort of enemy encampment.
Yeah, Draugr Camp, which we call the sausage factory. Yeah.
He thought this pristine bit of lakeline property.
It was beautiful.
Place to set up. And he taught me how to build walls, and he taught me how to build a house. And he was like, yeah, I'll be back later on tonight, and never came back.
That's not true.
It's true, Jim. You abandoned me.
I came back. I built a portal with you. I saw this beautiful house that you built, which was, what did you say? It was like Japanese styling. You were trying to go for like these awnings, and it just turned out to be a big block, which is what most people end up doing. We built a little dredge so we could park the boat. We had a fence. I came back. We started doing stone stuff. And then you, sir, abandoned me to go on vacation. So I don't want to hear it.
That's actually not true. Jim did come back a couple of times in 36-second intervals.
I made an appearance. I'm like a rock. Listen, I'm a man of the people. So it's like I play a little bit here, a little bit there. I dabble. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, the thing, I would stick with it. If you say tonight, let's play Valheim, I would totally play. But I know your game is Warzone. I know that's your game. So we play that, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. No, last night I was happy to leave Warzone and go try out Satisfactory, which was awesome, but totally overwhelming. Matt's got like this glass building with all this machinery
that was
in
a
it.
Beautiful
I don't
building.
know what it's doing, but it's very impressive. And if you fall off of it, you die.
You die. Yeah, it's very tall. That's the taller, the more dangerous the building is, obviously the better it is. That's the point. Now, where I come along is I'm the self-appointed beautification committee. So I put up all the lights, I put up nice guardrails, I put up like features. That's what I do. So last night, after you signed off, I remember we had that thing that you could ride on the power pole, that like zip line thing. I came up with the idea that I would place those around the base and I would put a red light over them. So anytime you saw a red light, that indicated that was a fast travel point. So I just spent all night putting up. That's my contribution. Did I mine anything, smelt anything, advance the technology tree? No. But I have these really cool red lights that allow us to zip around the base. And that's all I do. And I just BS with the guys. And then sometimes I alt tab and I play Switch, or I alt tab and I start playing another game. That's what I do. So don't take it personally that I was only dabbling in Valheim. That's my MO. But I did try.
Get this PC, buy all these games, we'll play together.
We do.
Fuck you, Phil.
We do. I mean, in fairness, there's a lot of times in Warzone that I am alt-tab doing other things because there's nothing going on. And I know you're like really into it. And I'm just like, yeah, everything's fine. Oh, heartbeat sensor's clear. And I'm like on Reddit or it's fine. We win our fair share of game.
How many times he said heartbeat sensor is clear and we've gotten murked immediately after he's finished speaking.
It's Ghost. It's Ghost.
Yeah, and he says, "Ghost, I spent $4,000 building this defunct computer, and this dude won't even fucking play with me. Oh, for a year, join the PC Master Race, get a PC. Oh yeah, I'm alt-tab, I'm playing Switch. Fuck you, dude."
I was bored. Listen, I'll be on tonight. You tell me. I mean, I assume you're on travel, so I'm guessing it's going to be. Yeah, I'm guessing the Xbox makes a return.
Yeah,
I'm ready, sure and I'm ready for Warzone. Speaking of Warzone, I don't think I sent it to you. I don't know how much Googling you've been doing. I know you've been kind of disconnected from the world, but they released a leak of the new Verdansk map, and it's going to take place in the 1980s, and it's going to be live at the end of the season. So I don't know what that means in terms of like vehicles or buildings or structures or whatever, but it's coming. It's real. Are you excited for that?
No, nothing about the 1980s excites me other than the music.
George Michael, right?
No, not George Michael. Rick Astley.
He's good too. I gotta bump you up a little bit here, make you a little bigger. Hold on a second here. Your camera got tiny on me. Well, you could lean in.
I think you made me too big.
Just trying to figure.
That's the kind of stuff you get if you subscribe.
That's right. Hot takes and really cool frames where Phil is out of the frame because his camera decided. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So they released that, and I saw. I mean, it's not an official release, but it's official. So I think the theory holds true. They're going to nuke Verdansk at the end. The zombies are going to take over. It's going to be some world event, and then we're going to jump in, and we're going to have a new map to learn, new places to find, and I'm okay with that. I think the map could do it. I think the map could use an overhaul. I think we're ready. I think collectively we're all ready. We went to our infamous bunker last night, only to find that it's completely empty. Remember we ran through there.
Yeah, what's happening? They're like, we can't fix the doors being open, so we're going to take the chests out. Yeah.
So they said, yeah, we all run in. We're like, great, we're going to get loot. We run in, and there was like a decoy grenade and like 4 bullets.
Dude, we should have known when there was no one else following us in there that something was wrong.
We're like, yes, we're going to be first. Yeah. It's like, hey, everyone, follow us to the asshole convention. Yeah, man, that was frustrating. But I'm ready for new stuff. I'm ready to, I think that's part of the joy of the game, and we've kind of gotten away from that because we're so used to playing now. The game itself, it's very stagnant in a sense, and I think a new map will spice it up. So I'm all for it. And it's been a year. We're ready for something new, right?
Yeah, we are ready for something new. Did you see that dragon gun?
Yes.
Did you buy it?
No. Should I?
We should both buy it and have it.
My CPs are all screwed up because I have some unlocked on PlayStation, I have some unlocked on computer, and I'm not I don't have one world economy anymore, and it's frustrating as hell.
Hold on. All right, everyone. I'm not gonna reveal too much about Jim because the things he shares with me are private and personal. It's none of your fucking business. But this is a dude. This is a dude who bought a Disney Vacation Club contract for 5 figures, sight unseen. This is a dude that bought his wife a Mustang for $40,000 or $50,000 in cash. But will
It's
he
the
send
principle. It's
will
the
he spend
principle.
$6 on a cool gun skin? No, no. He's got to figure out this weird in-game economy and get all the in-game economy monies in one place, and then him and Haw about a blonde wig for 6 weeks. Jim, just oh my god, I'll Venmo you the money. Just fucking buy it.
I don't have any money. My last set of currency was spent on buying you Valheim, and now I'm broke. As a matter of fact, if the stream stops, guys, the lights went out.
This is Jim last night. Oh, my 401k appreciated 17% last year. Fuck you, Jim. You piece of shit. You.
I can't. If I could use my 401k to buy CP, maybe I'd buy a couple dollars worth, but I can't. All right, I'll check it out. If you want to be the Dragon Boys, that's fine. I will rock the dragon armor with you or whatever, and we can get the dragon gun. That's fine. Do you know what gun it is, though? Because if it's a sniper rifle, I'm out. I'm just saying that.
No, it's an AR.
Okay.
And there's 2 guns that come in that pack: an AR and a chunka gun.
Ooh, a chunka gun. I love chunka guns.
And a cool charm.
Chunka guns are good for me because it's the only way I feel like I can sort of snipe. Just because I shoot so much that I'm bound to hit something.
Yeah, usually it's me.
Yeah. If you just put me on the ledge of a building and I just shoot incessantly, I will hit something.
No. This is me coming around the corner into the same room as Jim. I come in, I start a casual conversation with him. About 7 seconds into that casual conversation, I'm sorry, I couldn't see your nameplate. This is Jim. I'm sorry, your nameplate. Like, I'm talking to you, I'm standing right in front of you.
Well, yeah. Listen, I hold my own. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm the pro player of the team. I think Will is probably the best of us, although he has a little bit of a temper issue. But I will say that I bring the fun. I bring the fun.
I don't know, man. I feel like I spend most of my time resin you two. So.
Well, I'm excited that the game continues to have mileage in it, and I'm looking forward to the new map, and I'm looking forward to some new content and new guns and the new Reloaded Season 2. They've added the new Zombies map to Onslaught. They've added new multiplayer maps, Miami Strike and Mansion, which are both a lot of fun. So, thumbs up for me. Call of Duty continues to be a phenomenal experience. I love the hell out of it, and I can't wait to play more with my boy 50 cal. Other game news, and then we'll get into why I know what everybody really wants to find out, and I'm purposely saving it for the end, is why I got banned from ResetEra. We'll get to that in a minute. But first,
what I want to know is, what is ResetEra?
It is a gaming forum that is a break off from NeoGAF, which was the definitive place for leaks and gaming news for decades and decades. And, well, I don't know, I made that up, for a while. There was a big controversy on there, spawned by the Me Too movement, and a lot of people felt that the moderators were very sexist. So a bunch of the moderators broke off and started a new gaming site called ResetEra. And they're both very popular. A lot of people go there to anonymously post video game news. It's almost like 4chan for video game news, but it's not like
bunch of screaming idiots.
It's all pretty much. It's famous people, developers. Sometimes they use their own handle, like Jeff Keighley posts on there routinely. Famous video game developers post on there routinely. A lot of people, though, do it under anonymous. You don't know who they are. So it's a big deal to actually kind of get into it where you're able to post. So
Phil Spencer's in there on his anonymous account. Oh, Kratos and God of War, they fucking suck.
Bullshit, Xbox for life. Yeah. XX Kratos sucks 69 XX, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. But first, I want to talk to you about Mario 35. The biggest trend in tweets today, hashtag Mario is dead. Mario 35 has come to a dramatic end. We say farewell to Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Mario 35, the Nintendo Switch game, Mario Kart Home Circuit, Mario Kart 3D World Remastered, and the bonus pin set missions, all of which were themed in Mario 35. Now, my question is this to you. Do you care that Nintendo delisted Mario 3D All-Stars? People are livid by this. I personally don't care. I think if you wanted it, you should have bought it. But what do you think?
You had months to buy it. Now go fuck yourself.
Whoa.
Rip off anyway. Like,
It's
you've seen this game. Don't worry about it. They'll put it back out in a year, and it'll still be $60, and it'll still suck.
It wasn't very good. Nintendo loves to be the self-appointed, they're their self-appointed supply and demand chain. Other companies, hey, PlayStation's hot right now. Let's make more PlayStations. Nintendo, everybody wants a Switch. Here's 2. Fight to the death over them. And they have so much money, they just don't need... I don't want to say they don't need money. Everyone needs money. But they have so much just revenue from all these various sources because they own everything. They publish everything. They're not hurting. So they will always artificially inflate their demand. This is yet another ploy of that where they're basically saying, hey, guess what? We are going to basically pull our products off store shelves, off digital shelves. So as of right now, you can go on Amazon and still pick up Mario 3D All-Stars, but they're not making any more. And once that stock is gone, they're gone. It's gone from the Nintendo eShop. So it's going to become a rare item very soon as people scoop up the last of these things.
I'll tell you what. Anyone out there in the wild who really, 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 really wants this and also happens to have a brand new in the box 3080.
You're going to swap? A little horse trade?
We'll do a quick swap. You know what? I won't even bend you over the barrel. You pay me the 3080 plus $20. I'll send you the game. The $20 covers shipping. You'll be fine. Everything will be great.
That is quite a generous offer there, Phil. We'll see. You have to let me know if somebody takes you up on it.
I am benevolent.
He's a man of the people. Yeah, I feel like this is one of those things where Nintendo releasing games and taking them away. I mean, this isn't just a Nintendo problem. This is an every console problem where, your library doesn't always carry forward with you. I know Xbox has made a big push with this Play Anywhere and trying to backward forward compatible everything, bring it all to the future. It's like, hey, you can play original Xbox games on your Xbox Series X. And everyone says, wow, that's really cool, but nobody does it because we're all busy playing Modern Warfare. We're all busy playing, I don't know, whatever the hot new game is. We're not playing, I don't know, the original Banjo-Kazooie from 1950. Just no one cares. It sucks. It wasn't fun. Whatever it happens to be. I feel like this is just another product of that. I think Nintendo's being a little more blunt about it. It doesn't hurt them to leave it on their site, but it's not like this was... They announced it from day one. Hey, you want this game, you have from now to get it. This is the period of window to buy it. If you don't want it, you're done. So me personally, I don't care. I did buy it. I played it. I'm done with it. But I understand if people don't have a Switch yet. I don't know why. Maybe they're saving up or whatever. They were hoping to get this. They're not going to be able to now, I guess. I don't know. I mean, there's probably a percentage of people, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I can't imagine people are like, one day I'm going to get a Switch. And I'm going to get these 5 games. And then they're like, what? I'm going to get these 4 games. I just don't. There's probably a person out there that exists. I just don't know who they are.
Listen, what Jim just said is he has a copy available that he's no longer using. And the bidding starts at $1,000 US.
It starts at the Dragon Gun skin, apparently, that I need. Because I'm going to be griefed by Phil if I don't have it. If I show up to the hot... I show up to the loadout. The irony of this statement right now is palpable because you know what? You tirade me.
He griefed me for a year to buy a gaming PC, and I mentioned once to buy a $6 gun skin. And he's like, "Well, if you're gonna grief me about it, fuck you, Jim."
I am many things. I am also a hypocrite.
Yeah, a huge hypocrite, and you're the most arrogant fucking...
and you love me, and you come back every single week for more.
Of course I love you.
I will, I don't care about the Mario thing. I think it's dumb, but this is nothing new from me, or to me, I should say, from Nintendo. This is the crap they pull all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. If you really think about it, Nintendo are the biggest scumbags in the gaming industry. They really are. Oh, you want a new Breath of the Wild game? Come here. Come in close. Fuck you.
Mario puts his gloved hand on your shoulder and leans in and goes, "Let's go." And you're like, no. I know. This time you're eating the mushroom, bitch. No. Anyways.
Not through your mouth.
Not through your mouth. All right. So poor Mario. I don't know what they're doing over there. I would say overall it was okay. Rachel and I got some pins out of it because we bought all these games, and you get these little pin boxes for doing awards online. They're sitting in the closet. They'll never be like that. But we got them. Was it a great celebration of Mario? I guess. Did we really need one? I don't know. Like, I don't really think of God of War saying, like, hey, today's Kratos' 20th birthday, or today Master Chief turns 25, and we're going to do a big, gee whiz. That's just not normal. We don't really celebrate video game birthdays or like that. You know what I mean? That's not a thing we do. So
I won't be critical of them of that. Mario is special. Mario is way more special
I agree.
than Master Chief.
Yeah, but you don't see this for Zelda. You didn't see it for Samus. You didn't see it for Kid Icarus. You didn't
You know
see
why?
it for...
You know why we don't see it for Zelda? Because 95% of the people that have ever heard of Zelda think that Link is Zelda. They think that kid's name is Zelda, and it's
he's not.
It's not.
I didn't know that.
His name is Link.
Oh. Okay. Well, good to know. Pro tip. Fun fact. Two more things, and then we're going to wrap it up a little early today. Phil's got some food to eat, and I have got some business to still attend to late on this. What's today? April 1st. Wow.
He's got to take a fat shit.
Technically, no, but yes, because of what I have to do on the phone. So technically, kind of, sort of. Anyways, moving on. CyberPunk 1.2 released while you were on your illustrious break, Phil. The patch notes are the longest set of patch notes I've ever seen in my life. I mean, they are miles long. Major bug fixes, minor bug fixes, graphical updates, sound effect updates, overhauls of systems. My question to you is, does this bring you back? Do you care?
No, I'm just wondering how it'll kill my system if I launch it now.
I'm kind of in the same boat with you because I really did like it at first, and I'm just to the point now that I feel like if I load it up and I see a single issue, it will kill the game forever. And I'm holding that thin thread of hope that maybe, just maybe, this game is still, like, they're still working on it, and one day we're going to get the real game. You know what I mean?
I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait a couple more months to fire it back up. I'm going to let them fix some more stuff.
Okay, fair enough.
And I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till I hear someone reputable like Jeff Grubb or whatever that guy's name is. Is it Jeff Grubb? Mm-hmm. I'm going to wait till he says that it's functioning, or you tell me that it's functioning, and then I'll go check it out.
I just don't know if I could. I don't know if I could deal with the crap I dealt with before on that game, to where like the game broke when I was really getting into it. The music was getting good, the sound effects were getting good, the story was getting good, and then the door wouldn't open. And I'm like, how do I get through the door? And they're like, oh, this is a bug, you can't proceed. And I'm like, well, but the mission marker's on the other side of the door. And I could console hack it, and I'm like, I'm done. And I just quit. And that's where we left off. I probably would have to restart the mission because it didn't even quick save. I just Alt F4'd that bitch.
I'm going to have to restart the whole game, which sucks because the immersion is then gone up to the point where you
yes,
off,
exactly,
and you have to relive like the excitement.
I'm with you, dude. Yeah, there's Shigeru Miyamoto, the father of Mario. He talks a lot about game delays, and you only get one shot. A delayed game is only delayed once, but a bad initial impression is a bad initial impression forever. So even if in 10 years this is the perfect game, flawless, it does everything right, it runs at 7,000 frames a second, whatever, people are always going to know in the back of their mind, like, ooh, like this is that one game that sucked, right?
Why is this game so poorly optimized? I built a really, really, really powerful computer. Mm-hmm. Like, the only thing that I didn't have was like a 3090. And honestly,
you're pretty damn close, though.
Yeah, if that's the extra, if that extra $1,500 is the do and die between 60 frames per second and, I don't know, 70 frames per second, like the idea that the computer that I built can only run this game on high settings at 60 frames per second is kind of ridiculous. It really is.
Especially when you look at how well it runs other things. Playing Modern Warfare, very high frame rate, playing Cold War,
Yeah.
Valheim, Satisfactory. These aren't Satisfactory, especially when you start building up. That is not a light game. That is very, very meticulous game. A lot going on. Lots of lighting, shadows, particles, sound effects. Da 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 da. It adds up quickly. And
Warzone is massive, and it runs Warzone at like 240 frames a second or something stupid like that. But Cyberpunk, no, my friend, 52 frames per second.
Maybe.
Unless you want the characters to look like potatoes, then we can talk about
Oh, yeah, the potato. Yeah, I can't tell you the number of times I went through that first mission with Jackie and his gun kept vanishing and he was shooting like this. But there was nothing there, but bullets were coming out of his hand and I'm like, pew, pew, pew. I'm like, I want that gun. Like a little kid with the handguns, like he really had freaking hand cannons, like legit.
It's better than the golden gun.
And it never runs out of ammo as long as you can make the pew pew noise. All right, last piece of business, and then we'll wrap up early this week. My banning at ResetEra. Phil, you're a smart man. Well, maybe, I don't know. Now, through the magic of editing, Phil, so far this is one take. But if you don't know the answer to this question, we could edit it out. So sit very still. So if I have to edit it, it looks like you didn't move at all. You don't do that thing in Speed where you're like moving your hand and it's like, hey, look, you moved. Are you familiar with the incident in Fallujah, the real life incident, what happened in Fallujah many years ago?
Like during the war?
Yes.
I feel like a lot of stuff happened in Fallujah. It was kind of a fucked up place there for a minute, buddy.
I'm glad you are acknowledging this. That's good. No jump cuts required. We're still on one single take. If you didn't know, I wouldn't really edited it out.
Do people know what Fallujah is?
Okay, so the reason why am I talking about Fallujah in a video game podcast? Good question. Well, I'm going to tell you. It's because there is a game studio making a game called 6 Days in Fallujah. Okay? It is very, very controversial. We know bad things happen there on both sides of the fence. Innocent people were killed. Military was killed. It was not a good place to be. Really, we understand that. It's a hot topic already. It would be like making 9/11 the video game. Even if you were trying to be factual to what really happened, it would still be difficult to do. Now, this game is going to be a first-person shooter, and it's going to take place. You are a soldier in Fallujah during, like, when it's really about to hit the fan. And it sparked a lot of controversy. It hasn't even come out yet. It's just a thought of a game, right? Oh, I shouldn't say a thought. Like, it's being developed. They're showing trailers and they're talking with the development team, like, why did you pick this? And, a lot of developers have come forward and said, we demand you cancel the game. Other developers, it'd be like, I don't remember the names, but like some guy made this game and he's like, well, I'm allowed to make my game, but you cannot make this game. So it sparked a huge controversy and it's still boiling over online right now. People are very adamant on both sides. Well, why are you allowed to make a game about this, but you're not allowed to make a game about this? And the list goes on. I, on ResetEra, finally getting an account with the ability to post on the site a year later of being a good little boy and doing my, not really stirring the boat. I read this thread and this guy was complaining and I responded and I said, to me, a game is a game. You have an option. We live in a free country, thankfully, here in America. If you want to play it, you can. You don't have to. But I don't think developers speaking out and saying other developers should cancel it is the right thing to do. I don't like censorship in my stuff. I will be my own censor, basically, is what I wrote. And I was banned. So I can still lurk as an anonymous person, but your boy Viper Magic, you'll see if you go on ResetEra, I have a line through my name and I'm banned for what they call a troll ban because they felt my comment was inappropriate to the topic. So while you were gone, I was losing a little part of my soul.
What's the name of the developer that's making this?
I don't know. That's actually a really good question. And if I did my homework, I could probably tell you.
It's interesting that they would make this game just for the sake of being provocative, because I can't imagine that that's a story that a lot of people are clamoring to have told. And whether or not they want to justify it by saying, the innocent victims or the soldiers' families, they deserve to have a remembrance or whatever they use to justify it is probably shaky at best. It just sounds like this is a move to be provocative. However, let's say that the game is not called 6 Days in Fallujah. Let's say it's called 6 Days Kicking a Puppy. And do I think that kicking puppies is good? No, I think it's inherently bad to abuse any animal whatsoever. And if
Yes.
I find out that you're abusing dogs, especially,
I get
and I'm
pissed.
in the same room with you, I'll probably go to jail because I don't play those games. And I know Jim feels very similarly to me. Jim's
Yes.
not a violent guy. I'm pretty sure he'd hit you if you kicked a dog in front
I
of him.
got in one fight one time. My record is 1-0.
Nice. Attaboy, Jim. Undefeated. Champ. Better than Conor McGregor. Moving on. It's none of like are these people like the stalwart, like last bastions of like decency and morality in the gaming industry? Like there's games that portray rape, there's games that portray child abuse, there's games that portray all manner of unpleasant things for the human brain to have to accept that they happen, process, and move on and deal with the rest of the game.
Right.
Do I want to play a game where I know they're going to have a drama-driven narrative, and you're probably going to have to do some shady shit as a soldier to innocent people in the efforts to tell a story? No, I have no interest in it whatsoever. But I also have the right to use my funds that I have at my discretion, at my sole discretion. I do not have to play this game. I do not have to purchase it.
Correct.
And neither do you. If you think it's inappropriate, just don't support it. There are other people who may be interested in it. Does it need to exist? No, probably not. But does it exist? Yes. And they have the right to develop it.
Yeah.
And nobody, not you, not me, not the president of Iran, not the president of Iraq, not the mayor of Fallujah, like nobody has the right to tell them what they can and can't do. It is a free country, and as long as they don't violate any laws, they can do what they want. Am I happy to hear about this? Absolutely not. I think that you know what? I retract that statement. I don't know enough about it. I don't know enough about the story to weigh in on it at that level. However, on the face of it, it just seems like a provocative thing to be provocative, and people will buy it purely to see what happens. And that's probably a good tactic on their part because they'll sell games that way. And them drumming up all this bad press there's no such thing as bad press, right? They're getting people
Of
talking
course,
about.
yeah. And it doesn't, to go back to your question, I did look it up. It's by a game company called Victura. They do not exist. This is their first game ever. They do not exist prior to this. And their website says, recreated by those who were there, more than 100 Marine soldiers and Iraqi civilians have provided thousands of photographs, hundreds of video hours, and countless hours of their time to help us recreate these events with the authenticity and respect it deserves. So it sounds like they're doing their homework. I mean, it's PR speak, but I mean, I stand by my statement. If ResetEra is going to ban me, then, fuck you guys or ban me. I'm okay. I think you guys should be able to make whatever game you want. But we have games about Nazis. We have games about showering with your dad. If you remember Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the very opening level, no Russian. You have the option to go through and shoot innocent people in an airport as a Russian terrorist. So yeah. It's there. I mean, doesn't mean people are getting off on this. If they are, that's sick. But it's the option, and it was designed to tell a story. I mean, right. Wolfenstein is set in Nazi Germany with the intent of, we want you to hate these people. Okay, you've done it. Now we have a story here. So understanding what happened in Fallujah, I get it. It's definitely controversial, like you said, but I'm okay with anybody making a game about anything. It's just, you're right. I don't have to buy, kick the puppy simulator.
Let's not make, I know what you're, let's take what Jim just said before any trolls get to it.
Trolls, here they come. They're coming.
Jim's not saying let's build a game about child molestation. Let's not say
no, don't buy one of those.
We're going to build a game about let's torture people. We're not saying that.
There is a game about torturing people. It's called CyberPunk. Okay, yes, you're 100% right. I don't think there should be games on child molestation or on like drug trafficking or like abuse or that kind of nonsense like that. But I think if they take a game and they treat the content seriously or authentic to the event, hey, it might not be something you're comfortable dealing with, but you know what? My favorite game of all time is Shadow of the Colossus. That is a very violent, evil game in which you're murdering innocent creatures because you're trying to save somebody else. And the
Yeah.
amount of emotions and feels you get as you're going through that game definitely really make an interesting story. So this could be a very impactful story. And there's a lot of really good war games out there that deal with this kind of stuff. Not necessarily Fallujah, but the impacts of war and shell shock and the atrocities of war and white phosphorus and that sort of thing. And they're good games.
War is hell. That's the sentiment. War is hell.
Yeah, and war never changes.
War never changes.
And with that, Phil, you have had 2 full weeks to think of something. I know you haven't, and that's okay. But I'm going to put you on the spot now. Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready. And Jim was wrong, because much like iBuyPower won't give me a fucking functioning computer, war also never changes. See you next week.